They said some films were made to be forgotten. But what if the film itself refuses to be erased? What if it demands to be seen again, no matter the cost? Welcome to Forgotten America, where we uncover the secrets that history tried to bury. Before we begin tonight's story, hit subscribe and ring the bell, because after this one, you'll never watch another old movie the same way again. Our story starts in 1953, when television was new. Drive-ins ruled the night, and the world was obsessed with monsters, radiation, and fear. But there was one movie so disturbing, so inexplicable, that it never made it past its first showing. Its name was The Hallowscreen. Only one copy was ever made, and for 70 years, it was lost. Until I found it. It began when I was researching a documentary about lost American cinema. I came across a mention, a single line in an archived newspaper. Local theater closed after mysterious incident during private screening. No survivors. The date, October 29th, 1953. The place, a small town in Ohio called Willow Creek. I called the local library. No record. I called the film registry. No entry. It was as if the Hallowscreen never existed. But then, an elderly archivist whispered something that made my blood turn cold. He said, "If you found it, don't watch it alone." 2 weeks later, I received a small wooden box in the mail. No return address. Inside, wrapped in decaying film tape, was a canister labeled Reel 1, property of Hollow Creek Pictures. When I opened it, a smell of rust, ash, and old vinegar filled the air. I didn't know it then, but that scent wasn't just decay. It was something else, something alive. I set up an old projector in my apartment. The moment the film began to roll, I felt static in the air, like the room was breathing. The opening scene showed an empty stage, curtains trembling in unseen wind. A voice whispered, too low to understand, before cutting abruptly to black. Then, frames flashed too fast to register. Faces melting, eyes rolling back, mouths moving without sound. And then, a woman, standing in front of a cracked mirror, whispering, "You're still watching." I shut the projector off, but the film kept running. The reel didn't move, yet the picture on the wall kept flickering, showing me something I didn't recognize. My apartment, my face, the mirror behind me, and then total darkness. When I turned the lights back on, the projector was off, unplugged. My hands were shaking, and across my mirror, written in condensation, were 3 words: Reel 2 waits. The next day, I drove to Willow Creek, the town where the film had premiered in 1953, or at least, where it used to be. Google Maps couldn't find it. The road signs were gone. The few locals I asked stared blankly, as if they'd never heard the name. Finally, an old man at a gas station muttered, "That place burned. You don't want to go near it." I followed the old highway anyway. After an hour, I reached an overgrown clearing. A crumbling stone sign barely legible under moss. Welcome to Willow Creek, home of the Silver Star Theater. The theater still stood, half collapsed, windows shattered, but the marquee above the door still read, "The Hallow Screen, Premiere Night." Inside, the air was thick and cold. The smell, the same as the reel I'd opened. I turned on my flashlight. The seats were burned, the walls blackened. But that night, I checked census records. Willow Creek had vanished in 1954. No deaths, no survivors, just disappeared. Every map since then had erased its existence. Then I found a reel in the ruins. It was newer, labeled Reel 2. I didn't want to take it, but something about it pulled at me. The same feeling as before, static in my bones. I brought it back against every instinct. That night, while I slept, I heard it spinning, the projector turning on by itself. I woke up to flickering light on my ceiling. The film was running, but the reel wasn't turning. On screen, I saw the Silver Star Theater, full of people, applauding, laughing, watching the movie. And then, one by one, that night, after the second reel ended, I noticed something in the reflection of the blank TV screen. A faint outline, like static, shaped into a man. His face wasn't visible, but his presence was unmistakable. Every time I blinked, he was closer. I turned off every device. No power, no light, no sound. But the air still hummed, a low vibration in the walls. It felt like the world around me was buffering. Then, I remembered something the archivist said before mailing me the first reel. If you see the static, don't answer the call. The phone rang. I froze. It rang once, twice. On the third ring, I picked up, and there was silence. Then, faintly, the voice of a woman whispered, "Reel 3 is mine." I dropped the phone. When I looked back at the TV, the static man was gone. But on the screen, written in flickering white noise, were coordinates. The coordinates led to a long abandoned film studio on the outskirts of Chicago. The building had been sealed since 1954. No record of ownership, no workers, no history. Inside, the air was thick with dust and celluloid decay. On the wall, old posters of the Hallow Screen. Each poster had faces scratched out, replaced with black marker, or maybe something darker. In the corner of the studio, under a collapsed beam, I found another reel canister. This one was different. Metal, etched with symbols that looked more like runes than writing. A tag read, "Reel 3, do not project." I brought it home. I shouldn't have. When I unspooled a few feet to examine the film, the images didn't make sense. Rooms that changed shape, shadows walking backward, words written across the screen like film scratches spelling, "Every watcher feeds the frame." The static sound came. I couldn't escape it. The static followed me everywhere, in car radios, phone calls, even streetlights flickering as I passed. I knew there was only one way to end it. I had to return to where it started. Willow Creek was darker now. The road seemed longer, stretched. The theater's door was open, as if expecting me. I stepped inside. The projector room was still there, untouched, but humming. On the table lay Reel 4, already threaded. Without touching anything, the projector started. The reels turned slowly, the light beam cutting through dust and smoke. On screen, the audience from 1953. The same people, still seated, still staring, but older now, decayed. Their faces cracked like the film itself. Then the woman appeared again, the one from the mirror. Her eyes were empty, but her mouth moved like she was whispering directly into my mind. You watched. You joined. I escaped the theater just before dawn. My car wouldn't start. I ran until I reached the main road, where the archivist's old truck was waiting. He stepped out, pale and trembling. "You opened it," he said. "You shouldn't have watched." He told me the truth. The film wasn't made in 1953. It was found in 1953, buried beneath an abandoned asylum built in the 1800s. The director, desperate for fame, had restored it and screened it without knowing what it really was. Everyone who watched it disappeared. The town fell silent within days. "The film isn't a story," he said. "It's a doorway, and once you project it, it doesn't close." I asked how to destroy it. He just laughed. "You can't burn a memory." Then, before I could say another word, he handed me something, an envelope marked "Final Frame." Inside, when I returned home, the reels were gone. All four. The projector too. But in their place was something new. A single unmarked film canister, still warm to the touch. I didn't open it. Not at first. I tried to throw it away, bury it, drown it. But every time, it came back. Finally, I decided to project it one last time. To end this story. To document it for forgotten America. As the reel began, I realized what I was watching. It was me. This room. This story. This voice. And then the camera turned. It showed you watching this video. The screen flickered one last time, and a whisper echoed from behind me. Soft, almost kind. "Now it's your reel." The lights went out. For days after the final projection, I didn't sleep. Every reflection in my house showed something just slightly off. My eyes delayed blinking, my lips moving half a second late. Sometimes I'd see another version of me in the mirror, smiling when I wasn't. I started hearing the fill reel spinning at night, even though I had locked everything away. My phone camera would turn on by itself. When I checked the footage, it wasn't recording my house. It was filming the old theater again. The same seats, the same ghosts waiting in silence. One night, I woke up to find my projector standing in the middle of the living room, already loaded. The new reel was playing itself. The words "Final Frame" appeared on screen. And then, frame by frame, my house started to burn. But I was still sitting there, calm, watching myself melt into static. That's when I realized the truth. I was no longer living out. 3 weeks later, the incident made national news. An unknown signal hijacked a late-night broadcast across several American states. For 2 minutes and 37 seconds, every TV displayed the same image. A dark theater, a faint figure in the center, whispering one line: "Don't rewind the forgotten." Then the screen went black. Broadcast engineers traced the signal's origin to the exact coordinates of the old Willow Creek Theater. When investigators arrived, the building was gone. In its place, only a crater of melted glass and ash, like a lens that had been overexposed. Among the debris, they found one thing intact: a camera tripod still recording. The footage? Nothing but static. But if you listen closely, beneath the static hum, you can hear faint breathing. Months passed. Forgotten America fans began sending me strange messages. They said the latest episode, the one you're hearing now, sometimes changes. Some viewers said they saw an extra minute of footage at the end. A dark room filled with film reels spinning by themselves. Others claimed the narrator's voice, my voice, whispers something different each time. A few said they paused the video and saw faces hidden in single frames. People sitting in the shadows behind me, smiling faintly. The truth is, I haven't uploaded anything new since that night. The videos that appear on my channel, I didn't post them. They post themselves. Last night, I saw him again, the Static Man. He was standing outside my window, flickering under the streetlight. No movement, no sound, just the slow, distorted shimmer of something that shouldn't exist in this world. He raised his hand and pointed at me, then at the camera on my desk. I don't remember hitting record, but I remember the moment the air shifted. Cold, electric, like the world had been paused mid-breath. The projector in my room clicked on by itself, and there he was, walking out of the screen, not toward me, but through me. The light in the projector dimmed. My reflection stopped matching my movements. Somewhere in the static, his whisper: "You watched. You became. Dot. If you've made it this far, you've already seen it. You might not realize it yet, but part of the reel has already synced to your screen, frame by frame, pixel by pixel. When this video ends, check your reflection. If the lights flicker, if your phone screen hums, don't panic. It just means the story found its next viewer. Remember, every story wants to be remembered. Every image wants to be watched. So before the static takes hold, subscribe to Forgotten America, if you dare. Because next time, the story might not end here, The sound fades, the static grows louder, and the last whisper echoes through the darkness. The real never ends.